Now, it was a piece of political and TV history that had more than 10 million of us watching.
But will the first ever televised debate between the party leaders turn out to be a crucial turning point in campaign 2010?
Certainly all the parties claimed their man was the winner, but what's more important is what the voters thought. Our political correspondent Matthew Hudson reports on local reaction to the big debate.
A spring in the step of Liberal Democrats campaigning at Munsley in Norfolk today. Polls show their leader, Nick Clegg, came out on top in last night's historic TV debate on ITV. One suggested 61% of viewers made him the winner.
Nick Clegg was brilliant and he offered something fresh, and I think people have become so disillusioned with politics in this country and the way the old two parties go backwards and forwards, rowing with each other constantly. They want something positive and constructive.
An ITV poll immediately after the 90-minute debate showed 36% of people planning to vote Conservative, 35% for the Lib Dems and 24% for Labour. Some of that bounce may prove short-lived, but it was still a good night for the man in the yellow tie.
In this first interview, he's done a great deal to promote his party and public awareness of him as a potential major figure in British politics.
Around 10 million people watched the debate, more than the other 4 terrestrial channels combined. Among those, these regulars at the Red Lion at Wilstead in Bedfordshire. Who impressed them?
I like Cameron because at the very end he's very positive. He's thinking about hope tomorrow over fear.
Nick Clegg. I think we do need change, but change from the two other parties.
I think David Cameron looks like a leader.
I think the two young men were absolutely superb this evening. I think Gordon has disappeared over the horizon.
Some comfort for David Cameron there then, and support from Shadow Work and Pensions Secretary Theresa May, campaigning in Norwich North today.
Nick Clegg did well during the debate, but I thought that David Cameron came across as somebody who was ready to be Prime Minister. I thought he was very composed, I thought he showed he was in command, and obviously giving clear answers on crucially on the policy issues.
But Charles Clarke was playing a straight bat for Gordon Brown on Anglia Late Edition, screened after the debate.
His central theme is the economy. He sought throughout the debate to bring all the subjects back to the economy. When people talked about crime or education or whatever it was, he brought the economic questions right to the forefront. I do think that's a central question in this election.
20 days and 2 more debates to go, and there's still all to play for.
Matt Hudson there. Well, it was history in the making. The internet has been buzzing as well following that big debate. And we're going to catch up with what's being said in WebWatch later on in the programme.
More news and sports before that. Plus, welcome home.
The return of a famous Anglia name. Survival is back on our screens with a new face and, in the words of the song, more pictures.
The national cricket bat industry could be under threat because of an EU directive banning an insecticide used to treat the wood.
All the exporters of English willow are based here in East Anglia and now face a fight for survival. Lorna Rams has been to one company at Great Leighs near Braintree.
Cutting, splitting, waxing. J.S. Wright and Sons at Great Leighs in Essex have been making cricket bats since 1894. More than 70% of their stock gets sent to India, which insists the wood is treated with an insecticide called methyl bromide. But the EU banned it last month and no alternative has been found. The company chairman tells me they've already had to cut back.
We've stopped overtime, and the next move, unfortunately, is that we're going to have to put people on even shorter time if we can't keep production up. We're hoping there's going to be an alternative found. At the present moment, two other chemicals are being explored.
There are only 4 companies that export English willow to the rest of the world, and they're all in East Anglia. 2 are in Essex, one's in Suffolk, and one's in Norfolk. The industry's main markets are in India, Pakistan and Australia. And at the moment, India doesn't accept any alternative treatments. All these bats are waiting to be exported to India, but they're going nowhere until this issue is sorted out. And when you think there are 2,000 bats in each of these rows, that equates to an awful lot of money. A spokesman for the Department of Food and Rural Affairs told us methyl bromide is an ozone-depleting substance and its use has been found to carry unacceptable risks to health. The government has been helping the companies find alternative treatments. And the cricket bat industry hopes that solution is found quickly before their business is damaged beyond repair. Lorna Ramsey, Anglia News, Great Leighs.
Great skill there. Now, it became an advertising icon, and today, one of the region's biggest brands is turning back the clock to revive its fortunes.
After a period of financial turmoil, poultry producer Bernard Mathews is celebrating its half-century and returning to a catchphrase you might well be familiar with. Kate Prout has more.
Beautiful.
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 Hey!
Did I get the prize?
It was back in 1980 that the so-called Turkey King first appeared on our screens.
30 years on, and Bernard Mathews' off-the-cuff description of his own product, beautiful, really beautiful, lives on.
You are so beautiful to me.
A £5 million advertising campaign playing on the past.
People who remember it remember the great ads with the Cub Scouts and all the employees out in front of the lawn. And it's just wonderful advertising.
It harks back to the sort of Bernard Mathews glory days before it all went a bit sour, and I think it looks forward in quite a nice way. And nostalgia is a powerful property, and a lot of advertisers are using nostalgia now, from Kellogg's to Heinz to many others, and there's no reason for them not to use it.
And there have been several sour times for the company. Many will remember the bird flu outbreak, the contract workers filmed playing baseball with live turkeys, and of course Jamie Oliver's campaign against turkey twizzlers. Although all 7 million birds they produce a year are now born and bred in Britain, many are still reared indoors.
If you compare these to your £2 for a fiver, they're different. They might as well be different species. My kids won't eat anything else but these chickens. You can tell they like chalk and cheese.
Whatever the issues, Bernard Mathews will always remain synonymous with turkeys and that catchphrase. Kate Prout, Anglia News, Norfolk.
Right on to football now, and as the end of the season draws nearer, the scramble for points becomes more crucial for teams.